Welcome back to Marwell Manor Farm for episode 26 with me, MrSealyp. I was just on my way past where I'm storing the wool, on my way to the store to pick up the poplar baler. It's 4:15 and I want to try, if I can, to get those bales done on field 13 as soon as possible. But what I am going to do, I am going to tell you about this contract, because I think, pretty sure by morning that one's going to be full and I'm probably going to have another one which will give me my 10, which will mean I'll need to dispatch these. Now this says Muskoka Farm is in dire need of wool up here in Canada. The winters are very cold. I hear that you're getting some sheep in a few days time. If you could ship me over some wool I would pay you handsomely. It's too late for this year. If you could say, if you could save up 10 pallets of wool, I will wire you 30,000 plus another 20 for delivery charges and sundries, etc, etc. Please, MrSealyp, we are freezing and need some warm sweaters. P.S. There is a handmade sweater in it for you too. MrSealyp 77 sent me a picture of a woolen jumper and a matching dog's jumper that goes with it, because he wasn't sure whether this was his contract or not. It is your contract. So Muskoka Farms, hopefully in the morning I'll be able to pack those up and ship them off. Hopefully that's the plan. Right, let's get to the store. I want to try and do at least some of this before it gets dark, otherwise between now and then I'm going to kind of be sitting around. The sunflower harvest will come soon. I do need to get back over to field 21 and slurry. I have a very odd comment left and I'm puzzled. I'm a little bit confused. As I understood it, slurry is, well, there are all different sorts of slurry, but slurry used on farms is a mixture of animal feces and water. So it's kind of a liquidy, it's a slurry. So it's come from an animal, it's their manure, their muck, therefore it's organic. I had a message left saying that slurry's not organic and that field 21 therefore hadn't been done properly. Unless I've made a mistake with what slurry is, I'm puzzled. But anyway, yeah, if I'm, let me know what are your thoughts on the slurry debate. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. I wasn't quite sure. I thought all this time I knew what it was, but maybe not. Anyway, that being said, we need, under baling technology, the WB, where's it gone? The WB 55 poplar baler, £5,000. Oh, outrageous. Right, just going to lease it standard. Yes, thank you. Okay, so as far as the contract goes for this, I mentioned it a little while ago, and in case anyone's forgotten, so this one made me laugh. Having worked in schools, says, hi there, I hear you have a lot of cattle to feed and I have a lot of TMR spare, but I'm looking at opening an archery range for wayward children to help them get outdoors. I need 10 poplar bales as targets, and in return I can pay you with 30,000 litres of TMR. That's fantastic. Wayward children, it's kind of in the name, they are wayward, and I applaud anyone who helps out disadvantaged children and children with disabilities and all that kind of thing, to be able to get outside and try out new stuff. I just had visions of a kind of Robin Hood-esque, all these kids disappearing off into the woods, into the forest, with bows and arrows, never to be seen again. But anyway, I'm more than happy to oblige. So that's why we did the poplars, that's why we're going to bale them. We are making archery targets. Actually, I'm going to cut across the grass here. Only 10, I know I'm going to get a load more than that. So what I might do is, once I've got my 10, oh no, because then it means I've got to get a forage harvester and that becomes an absolute pain. The only problem I have got other than that, I might just get my tenon stopped for the time being, because I'm pretty sure on here this map wasn't updated to accommodate them. So this is going to be one that these will be shipped, in inverted commas. These will be shipped off. They're to Stalin. If they're going Stalin, no, Stalin, not Stalin. I'm putting the Y in the wrong place. Sorry, Stalin. Right, let's need to swing that out. Why is it not swinging out? There we go. That's the way we're going to go. Turn it on. Drop it down. Unfold it. Really should be going up the road, shouldn't we? Okay. When I get to the end of this bit, I will go up a row, not a... These are going to roll away, aren't they, as well? They're going to all end up in the woods behind me. So let's get that on. Now I did try as best I could when I was planting these to leave enough space that I could drive at either end, turn around, but also get next to them if possible. It's not going to be perfect, but as best I can, that's what we're going to do. Right, I think what I will do is lift that. I'm going to whiz round to the other end. If I can. Drop it back down. They've got quite a lot of green ones at either end. Okay, if we go again. The green one should just spring back up again. There we go. There's our first archery target. Please don't roll away. Of course it is. If I can just turn it a little bit, that might work. Right. Let's close that down. That's one. Like I say, we're going to get 10 so easily. I way overestimated how much I was going to need on this field, and because I had 2 pallets of poplars, I ended up just putting the whole lot in. It's probably a bit of a gaff on my part, but at some point we can always lease a forage harvester with the poplar header on the front and wood chip them, I guess, and then we can sell the wood chips at the biogas plant. I'm pretty sure we can't sell these on here. I know all the Giants maps you can, and the maps where the map makers have kind of allowed for it, but obviously this map came out before the Anderson pack did, so it's not kind of available on here. Again. I know I can swing the baler around the other way, but it meant trying to turn it all round at one end. It just made it a lot easier just doing this. Would have helped if I dropped it back down again, wouldn't it? Okay. Let's say goodbye to the bale. Please stop. Can roll. There's no way of stopping it by hand, it will just roll into me. Stop. Come on. No. Come on. I do not want to be fishing those out of the trees. Let me think a bit better about this. What I should have done was brought another vehicle with me. What I'm going to do. Oops. Meant to turn off the baler, not the whole thing. God, this reverses at quite a speed. Come on, before it gets to the trees. Is that some comedy sketch from Benny Hill? Right. That'll do. Now I wonder, if I straighten that, put it right behind, am I going to damage the poplars if I drive over with the tractor? No, dudes just seem to be bending. Okay. Because when I did the test of the poplars to see if it was better wood chipping or baling, a lot of people did say that I was destroying the poplars with the tractor, or with the forage harvester, and with the tractor. That's not the case. The tractor's not doing any damage whatsoever. Where you're seeing these disappearing off the left, that's just the actual the baler, the front collection point. Oh, what am I talking about? This the pickup is the word I'm looking for. The pickup of the baler goes a little bit wider than one sort of strip of poplars, so that's why it's doing that strip and a tiny little bit from here as well. It's the baler doing that, not the tractor. So if you look here, the poplars are all bent over, and I haven't done any damage to the poplars this side. So yeah, just point that out. careful. What's that for? I've lost count of what we're up to. If you're just joining us, I realise I shouldn't be going across them like this. I should be going up and down the rows, but just trying to give myself a bit of space. Well, if I put it behind that way now, I'm not going to hit this bale that's already on the floor as I drive past. I was worried if I had it swung out behind me I'd knock into that one. Collecting these is going to be interesting, isn't it? So if I swing it like that a little bit, that'll do. That we can deal with, we'll be alright. I suppose the thing being now, because I can technically, I was worried about driving over the poplars, but if I can bend them a little bit, just a little bit, hopefully we can actually turn this round, which means I can now start doing it probably a little bit better. Here we with a bit more authenticity. Drop that down again. Right out. There we go. That's better. Just didn't feel right driving over them. I know it allows you to, but just didn't sit right with me. Okay, that's, well, we've done more than 10. I think we've got 12, I think. The Deutz files come over. We've got the Adoranti bale collecting trailer, and we've been loading some on already. What we'll do is take those over to the main farm and probably put them, trying to think, probably by the new silo actually. Actually, might as well take this back. I'm thinking about it. So I'll clear those, we'll pick them up and we'll take them over. Muskoka Farm, your, well, 12. Your archery targets are on their way. Good luck with the wayward children. If it was me, I'd start off with arrows with, like, you know, the sucker pads on the front. Sticky darts. That's what I did with my kids when they were younger. Didn't stop them sticking them to my forehead or anything like that, but you know. Now my next problem is I need to go and slurry field 21. And I said about putting narrows on this because I was convinced I'd read somewhere, I'd seen somewhere you could put narrows on this. Problem is it's leased. And I think I've still got some slurry in it. Not a huge amount, not that I'm going to lose a lot of money. And I bought the Magnum because you can put twin narrows on it. Now it's going to be a bit of a test because I think a lot of people have found in 19 things that have said they've got narrows have still caused crop destruction. So I don't know what we're going to do. But if we look in store with this slurry tank, this one here, the PG235, which is the one I've got, you can have it on Trelleborgs or Nokians, and next to it it says narrow tyres. So I'm assuming that acts like narrows. The fact it says narrow tyres. So Trelleborgs are the standards, and then it says, definitely says narrow tyres there. But I knew I'd seen it somewhere. I wasn't going mad. Whether or not it is or not, I don't know. So, like I say, I don't think with a leased vehicle, if I take it back to the customization point, it won't allow you to customize a leased item. So I'm probably going to have to give it back and release, which it's annoying, but again, it's not the end of the world. It's unfortunately part and parcel. I probably, if I'd have thought about it in advance, I could have leased it with narrows straight away. But then again, there is that situation that, as was on FS17, a crop that's in its first growth stage, if you drove over it, it didn't make any difference. But I'm sure I did that on is it Ravenport? And I damaged the crop. I'm sure I did. So like I say, it's going to be a little bit of actually I need to convert this as well. Let's put narrow twins on. So let's return that. Repair already? Good grief. Return. Okay. That's gone back. I'm liking the Magnum. That's a tiny bit of repair. Customise. Let's go with narrow twins and see what happens. The first thing that happens is it looks really cool. After that, it doesn't really matter. Don't really care after that. It looks brilliant. So I'm sure I had a little bit left in this, but it was only like 1,000 and something to fill the entire tank. So realistically, 4,400 litres is not going to break the bank. I'm sure we'll survive. I actually thought doing those poplar bales would take a lot longer, if I'm being brutally honest. Right. Yeah, it won't let me customise. Okay, let's return it. Oh, you muppet. Well, it doesn't matter, I'll back in and collect it. I didn't need to return that, did I? I could have disconnected that. Right, so let's get the same one. So I'll get the same one. Finhus is 30,000 litres, that was 34. That's only a 30 metre spread. Yeah, it says same knock-ins, narrow. No, I'll go with what I had. Let's go knock-ins, narrow and lease. Oh god, another 10 grand. It could all go horribly wrong. Horribly, horribly wrong. As these things often do when I'm in charge. Right, let's back that in. Right, I'll fill it up and test it. While that's happening, we'll go and make sure the bales are off of field 13. There you go, Muskoka Farm. Your archery targets are awaiting collection whenever you're ready. Right, so if everything I think I know matches up with what should be the case, now this could either be the fact that you can go on a crop in its first growth stage and it doesn't matter, or it could be that the narrows on both of these work. I don't know. Whichever way it works out, we'll soon see. Oh, I really hope this doesn't damage the crops. Right, the beacon's off. No damage, is there? Okay. I'm inclined to think it's the former. That it's because they're in their first growth stage. Is that what it is? Well, there's no damage, so that's the main thing. Right. Let's get our second load in here, shall we? Let's open it up. I suppose the test would be to go on to a crop that's more established and try out the narrows, I guess. Bit of a gamble though. Okay. Let's turn it on. And there we go. Is that spreading? It's going out of the tanker. Stop there. Let's check the sat map. It is. We are golden. Okay, right. It's going to be a few loads again. How many did I do last time? Was it 3 or 4? I can't remember how many loads I did. But anyway, whichever combination. It may have just cost me 10 grand for no reason. I could have probably used the other slurry tanker. I guess what I should have done maybe was tried that first and then gone back. But, you know, better safe than sorry. That's what I'm going with. Oh dear. Okay. Cruise control on. Let's go. And then with the second fertilising state on this, I can just leave it. And let it grow. And then once it's ready, we'll just come and harvest. So, all good. You've seen this process before. It's kind of still doing... It's doing something, isn't it? The wacky world of console graphics. And it's still not dark yet, so that's always a bonus. Don't hit the hedge. Okay. Where did it stop last time? I think we ran out just before the telegraph pole, didn't we? Sure we did. Well, that lasts a little bit better this time. Okie dokie, well, I'm going to carry on. We'll get this done. The actual newly fertilised area doesn't seem as dark as it usually is. It's a lot harder to see. I'll just do my best. That's all I can do. Oh, that didn't last long. Oh dear, okay. That's better. Of course, it's nice in here, isn't it? Oh, what do you fancy? Field 21 is done. I'm going to fold that up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through the main farm with this tanker spreader, because I'll go back to the store with it later on. There's one more job I want to do before I finish off, but that's all done as organically as I know how. Now at this point I'm not sure whether or not I'll edit it out or not, but I made a bit of a mistake earlier. It just goes to show how confusing this can be, and I'll get myself just as confused. I dropped off the poplar bales, the wood chip bales, and said Muskoka Farms could collect them. They weren't for Muskoka Farms, they were for Stellin. So Stellin, you haven't got to collect them, they will be shipped, but they were for Stellin. It's the wool that's going to Muskoka Farm. So sorry about that mistake. Like I say, if it's been edited out, you won't even know. But I'm not sure at this point whether I can, because I'm pretty sure it was kind of integral to what I was doing. But anyway, like I say, I left them over there, and I said Muskoka, and I meant to say Stellin. Sorry. it happens. Anyway, now, Big Papa C messaged me yesterday. I've recorded this in 2 sections because I had to pop out yesterday and do some jobs, and going to be popping out again later on today. So if any mods drop today, I am not going to be on hand to do a mod review until Saturday morning because I'm out this evening. So yeah, if any do, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. Not a lot really. Let's disconnect that. Now, Big Papa C said to me, now you've got the new silo, didn't you have some sugar beet in the barn that you could put into storage now? You're absolutely right, and I was way ahead of you. I've already taken 1 bucket load because I took over the feed mixer, so I thought I'll grab a bucket load, take the feed mixer and tip it in out of the bucket, which worked. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the agro liner trailer. We're going to use that for the last time, move over the sugar beet, put that into the silo as well. Then we haven't got any loose sitting in the barn. And then what I will do is overnight or in the morning I'll be selling the old tray like I said I was going to. I just didn't get around to it. And we're going to get we're going to get the cramp one. Big Papa C did message me to say that new trailer, the 63,000 litre one, on his map specifically, game crash, all sorts of problems were caused, and he lost 37 hours of gameplay on one of his Let's Plays. So I'm steering well clear of that trailer until there's an update or something gets sorted out with it. I just can't take the chance. It may be you're using it and it's fine on your map, but I really don't want to take that chance. Now I know I'm going to get in trouble with Ralph because I never ever place my trailers in the correct position to make life easier for loading and stuff. So I do apologise, Ralph. I have so many messages left every single day. Everybody telling me all different things and how to do things, and I've been playing the game a long time. I know I'm no farmer and I'm no expert, but you know, I try. I do what everyone else does at the end of the day. Let's give that a look. Cool. No, I could have used the conveyor belts and stuff, but just easier doing this. There we go. There's not a huge amount of it left, to be honest with you. I've still got a little bit of landscaping to do there. There's a bit of a lump. I need to smooth that out. Oh, that was the thing I was going to say. Yeah, after the last episode, when we got rid of the hayloft and we got rid of the old silo, and we got the new stuff put in, I did say I was going to do a little bit of kind of landscaping, I guess. So what I did do, we came in with a little bit of loose tarmac. We put a little bit of tarmac down because this was looking a little bit. We had tyre tracks and it was getting muddy. As you can see here, getting a little bit kind of muddy. So we put a little bit of, well, I know we call it kind of tarmac in the UK. I mean, that was because that was Tarmac Adam. I think it was one of the companies that did it. Asphalt, I think, is another, you know, common term. So I had a load of grass around here. So I've gone around the same thing here. Just a tiny little bit of tidying up, bit of landscaping. Left a little bit of grass there, you know, just for nice bit of effect. But anyway, yeah, so I did a little bit of landscaping, bit of tidying up around the yard. But what I intended to get done in this episode has been done, well, more than. I was only intending doing poplar bales, to be fair, but that went a lot quicker than I thought. So we've got field 21 sorted with slurry, and now we're moving this as well. So it's actually worked out pretty good, I have to say. I think I'll probably have one more bucket load. I really do need to take that skid steer back. I agree with, who's it told me? Probably scared of the dark, didn't want to be left in the forest on its own. You're probably right. I'll probably keep it here where it feels safe. Take it back over when it's needed. So yeah, there you go. We've done everything we set out to do. Tomorrow morning, which will be now the next episode, we're going to make a start on the sunflower. Get that contract sorted. That will potentially sort out 2 contracts. So I've got Farm Dog Sid and Bob's contract for their dog biscuits, which requires some sunflower, and I've got the contract for 200,000 litres of sunflower, which I don't think I'm going to get off that field. But again, we'll see, you never know. But there you go, last bucket load. We have come to the end of this episode. I'll take it over and put it into the silo and then bed down the animals. I think would be good for the evening. Our light is fading quickly, and I don't mean that like poetically or metaphorically or even philosophically. I mean the light is actually fading. It is going. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, give us a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.